Hi, so my presentation is going to be on engaging students to keep distractions away. And one of the main focus of questions that I kept looking at was a teacher was struggling with keeping students' phones away and how to and they wanted to incorporate it in some way, but it was just a little hard to do that. And so I'm going to be helping that teacher out. So this is an overview of what I'm going to be talking about. So I'm going to talk about interactive PowerPoints, the use of videos, how to use games, and how to integrate social media as well into your teaching. So interactive PowerPoint. So creating an interactive PowerPoint is getting the students engaged. It's not just speaking at them directly all the time, lecture PowerPoints, those are always a struggle, but getting the students involved in some way. So a great way to do that is use polls to trigger discussion. So have them get on their phones or provide computers in a way that they can answer polls in order to start the discussions, because just answering a question all the time isn't always the best way. And so getting to see their opinion and allowing them, in a sense, to discuss their opinion on how they see it will get you moving along. Caption this with PowerPoint. So what it is a lot of people have done this with movies, but you can do this with your topic. So I am a history, I'm going to be a history teacher. So what I do is put a picture throughout history of the subject we're talking about. And then I would have my students caption this. It doesn't even have to be related to what we're talking about. It could be something funny from this time, past time, a movie quote, something like that, just based on the picture. And that will help them, in a sense, really remember the picture. And so you can also include that on a test, being all what is this from? And then it will click the funny caption and everything. And then after the caption, what we do is talk about it and everything. And so then it would allow the student to hopefully understand, be oh yeah, this is from this, and it explains so forth and everything. And you can do this with any type of subject and any type of grade. PowerPoint handouts, I think, are really great of having the notes on papers to have the students follow along on paper and take notes on the side, and so they can have it in front of them and up there, and so you can talk and back and forth, and they can see what they need to write and everything. A shared presentation. I think this is a great way. It's not one of my favorites, but it is very effective, is doing a shared presentation with the rest of the class and everything. So you have it up on the big screen, but you also have it on a computer so that they can go at their own pace as well as you were trying to present and everything. And so and if they're struggling to see, then they can look at their computer screen and just see that. And so then they could ask more questions, and hopefully that will be engaged, because that is one way that students aren't really engaging and distracting, is because they're having some type of limitation to what you're teaching. And sometimes that is seeing the PowerPoint. Have students give feedback. I find this really effective if you do this at the end of a lecture or discussion or whatnot of your teaching, and have students give you feedback of how well you did or what you need to do better or what you could have done differently. And so then you can try and take that feedback and incorporate it some way to hopefully make yourself better. The use of videos. So the use of videos, there are so many great videos out there for teachers to use. And so I think YouTube's a great place. Some school districts banned it just because there's a lot of not good school appropriate information, and so that's just struggle. But find interactive videos. There's a bunch of websites that allow for educational videos, and so you can find videos that in a sense really makes them move around or ask them questions, or you have to pause the video for the students to discuss it, and so that that allows them to watch the video but then also have the students interact with each other or even with you. Funny videos are a great way to get people laughing and to remember things. So if you can find funny educational videos or even funny break videos, having a 2-minute brain break and you just show this video, is also a great way for students just to kind of breathe again and just have that moment of break that they need in order to keep learning. Games. I am a huge fan of games and I think any age level loves games, whether you're in kindergarten or you're a senior in high school or a college student as well. They're so much fun. And so finding interactive games that get the students going. So one thing is Kahoot. You can ask questions and then they have to pick the correct answer, and they use their phone or they use a computer. Another game is Quiz. It's very similar to Kahoot, and it's just kind of more educational based, that a lot of school districts for. Trivia Crack is actually a great game. So what it is it just started out an iPhone game, but you can do this on like your computer and just try and like do the big screen, or you can have like create a set of questions. But in a sense, really, Trivia Crack started out as you can see at the picture of the lower screen, of different things that people would be tested on. It's like different trivia things. So it would be like sports, art, science, history, entertainment, and geography. And so like those things. And so you can try and incorporate them into your lesson and everything. And it's just like a fun little game that they can do. It's very similar to Kahoot as well. But like people can pick different categories. So like as like a history teacher, geography is going to be incorporated as well. So I can do like history and geography. And you can also include some fun random ones in there of like an artist or something. And you can just like incorporate different things so they can have a random fun moment as well as they're continuing to learn. Class Dojo is usually used as for the younger grades, like K through 6 and everything, but I think games, even though they're meant for small kids, can be fun for high schoolers as well if it is used correctly. It's like a great interactive tool. It's very similar to Google Classroom is how I picture it. It's like you can create your own little monster character, and then the teacher can track the progress, but also the parents can be included in on this so they can see the students' progress as well, which is very important to some parents. And that will be very good for education for the younger kids, but it also helps the older kids as well, because a lot of times they're not very communicative, and you don't always have like a lot of interaction with them, like high school parents of kids and everything. But so it just kind of gives you a way to just keep everything connected between the student, the parent, and the teacher. And it has great videos to help you learn subjects as well. And you can put different subjects in. Integrate social media. I think this is a great one, especially for the, because like kids are on their phones a lot. And so it's like a struggle to like get them off their phone. So if you're wanting to somehow incorporate it, you can create Instagram stories. I think is super fun. That could be a fun assignment for the students to do, but it's also things you can do to create PowerPoints, like it's so like you could do something similar to like literature wise. You could create an Instagram story of like Romeo and Juliet or something similar to that, of how her family's tearing away, how their families are keeping them apart. And so you could do like an Instagram story of, oh, I hate my family, or something like that, like the teenager thing to do. And you can do something similar with that, or you could do it with science, history, art, sports, or whatever your subject is you're teaching, math as well. Play Snapchat games. There are so many games on Snapchat. You don't even have to have Snapchat, but you can include that like on a PowerPoint, and so then kids can like play the games on their phone, and you can like show them as well. Use TikTok. I think you could do like some funny like TikTok videos you can create through like the use of your subject as well. So going back to history, like you can make a TikTok about something you have to teach in history, like coming to America, or American Revolution, something like that. And you can do a TikTok through that. You can make tweets of what the natives would be tweeting about Christopher Columbus, something like that. And you can do vice versa, get the different opinions. And that could also start a great discussion of just like incorporating technology and social media that a lot of these teenagers use will be great for like helping them interact and everything. Thank you.